Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're gonna start the second video of this small playlist or video following guide, tutorial, whatever you wanna call it, that I'm creating. And in this video, we're gonna create our first virtual machine in Virtualbox. So, in the last video, we installed Virtualbox, like the management tool for having or creating and setting up and running virtual machines. If you haven't watched that video, I highly recommend you just start watching that. It's the first one, and then come back to this one afterwards. So right now you can see that I have cheated a little bit. I already created a test machine right here, but in case or in like in true fashion, I'd say something like that at least. I'm gonna be deleting this machine right here, and then I'm gonna be recreating it so you guys can follow along. And to start things off, we need to get what's called a disk image file, and that's pretty straightforward to do. So, like all operating systems like Windows, Mac, Linux, all of them are a piece of software, but they're run with the specific type of a disk image file, right? So what we need to do in order to get this running is we need to go to ubuntu.com, and you can simply just do this right now with me. So we go to ubuntu.com and then select products. Then we're going to select Ubuntu Desktop right here, which is the one that's going to reassemble Windows Desktop the most. You could obviously download the server version, but for education purposes, I'd say this is the most easiest one to wrap your head around in the beginning if you're not very familiar with different types of operating systems. So now we're here. We click the green button, and then you can see it requires almost 6 gigabytes of free disk space. So just make sure you have a little bit extra available, and then click the green download button once again, and the download should start automatically. If it doesn't, you can click download now. I already have mine downloaded somewhere different, or at least I have tried to make this video a couple of times now. You can see it's downloading again. I'm gonna be cancel my download, but you should just let yours finish. Once you have the download, you want to open up VirtualBox. And then we simply click create a new virtual machine, or if you want to use the short, Control N. I'm just going to be clicking new, and then I'm going to be selecting my ISO image, or this is the short, like the ending for a disk image file. And it should be located in your downloads folder, so you're going to select other, and then you can see mine is already at the downloads folder. But if you don't have it, you click downloads and then select the correct image right here. Then click open, and now you can see that there has been something selected right here. You have the type, the operating system type, which is Linux, and then the subtype, which is Ubuntu. There's a lot of different subtypes, but the one we want right now is just Ubuntu. Then we want to give our machine a name, and I'm gonna be going with Ubuntu 2404 test, just to make it reasonable. Then we're gonna select the next drop-down menu, unattended install, and then I'm gonna be selecting a very good password, or a strong password, which is password. As you can see, I selected password. Please don't do this. Like, make sure you actually use a strong password or use a strong passphrase. If you don't know what a passphrase is, I highly recommend you look that up on the internet before starting or creating. Just like, never just do something like this. My name is John, and then like a one, and then a like exclamation mark. That's not a strong password either. Make sure you use strong passwords and treat this as a regular device that you would like to protect from spying eyes or whatever you want to say or call it. And I miswrote. I miswrote password. Now all should be good. So now that I've done that, I'm going to be selecting hardware, and you can see right here beneath the sliding bars how much memory and how many processors you have available. I have a very beefy desktop session or very beefy desktop right here that I'm doing this on. So I'm just gonna be giving my virtual machine 4 cores and 8 gigs of memory. I can't really remember the recommended specs. I think it's like for a reasonable like Ubuntu Desktop experience, it's something around 4 gigs of memory and 2 cores. I'm just going to be beefing mine up a little bit just so that I can get through the installation a little bit quicker. If you don't have, well, don't worry if you don't have as much available as I have. You can definitely just give it like 4 gigs and 2 cores and you should be good to go. You just need to be a little bit more patient during the actual installation. For the last part, I'm going to be selecting hard disk and I'm going to be giving it 35 gigs of disk space. Recommendation is 25 if I'm not like remembering if my memory serves me correct. And once again, I'm just going to be giving it a slightly bit more. You can leave it as is or allocate how much you feel, how much you want to allocate for your project. Then you want to click finish and the machine should start up automatically. This is the very simple way of installing Ubuntu, and now you actually just have to click try or install Ubuntu and you should get prompted in a little while. And once that's done, you should simply follow along with the installation instructions showed inside the virtual machine. I'm gonna be pausing this recording just to wait for the machine to boot up. There's not really much point in me showing that, so I'll be back once there's something different to show you guys. See you in a minute. All right, so it took maybe half a minute, 45 seconds, something around that. And now you can see that we're getting prompted to install Ubuntu. I'm just gonna quickly mute the audio because sometimes it plays this startup jingle that is unreasonably high compared to the rest of my system. So I just muted that and then I'm gonna be selecting install Ubuntu and now you should see everything start and restart automatically. So that's basically it. We don't really have to do much more. If you want to follow along on the process, you can click this small icon right here in the bottom right. And you should see that the installation is doing its thing and just starting to set up your virtual machine. I'm going to be pausing the video once again. You should expect this step, like copying the files and installing the whole operating system, to take a little while. And also it depends on how much memory you allocated for your virtual machine. So if you allocated less than I did, expect the time for installation to be a little higher, but just give it time and it should come around at some point. Once again, I'm just going to be pausing the video and returning when something more interesting is happening. See you soon, guys. Now that we have the actual sign-in interface or login interface, I'm just going to type in my password and we should be good to go. This is it. Now we have our virtual machine up and running and we can check, even though it says wired, the icon indicates that it's not actually connected to the internet right now. So I'm just going to be clicking and reapplying it and check if that's fixed the problem. Let me just quickly check this. Let me just turn off the internet for now. There's not really much reason for me to have the internet connected right now. I don't really need it, but I can, for instance, use the shortcut command to open the terminal, which is Control-Alt-T for terminal, and then you should see this pop up in your inside your virtual machine. Then I can, for instance, give it a command saying, "Who am I?" and it should return VBox user, which is the user that I signed in with on the machine Ubuntu 2404-test, which is obviously the virtual machine that we created. And let me just quickly check if this is gonna fix it. Yeah, I just disconnected it and reconnected it too quickly before. So now you can see it doesn't have the 3 small dots in between the the small screens right here. And we should be able to actually gain access to the internet. So let me just quickly open my browser here. It comes pre-installed with Mozilla Firefox. And let's go to google.com and see if it works. And it does. If you made it this far into the video and found that this video would give some sort of value for you to get started with your virtualization tools and creating your first virtual machine, I would be very happy if you would subscribe and like the channel. It would help me grow the channel more than you could ever imagine. And that's basically it. I will be showing you how to do the more advanced installation next time, so you have a bit more options to configure during the installation process, which can be nice for some of you. Otherwise, this is a perfectly legitimate way to set up your first virtual machine inside VirtualBox. And that's it. I don't really have anything else to say. Hope you enjoyed the video and take care until next time. Bye.